What the frick is up, boys and girls? Bit of a cozy vibe today. I'm out here in the rain of British Columbia in my car, and it's quite nice. It's kind of nice. Today I want to talk about something more specific. I want to talk about the letting go technique by David Hawkins. His hypothesis is that emotions spawn thoughts, and most of our lives we're running around trying to fix the thoughts, fix our mind, and we're using more mind and more thoughts to fix the issue, which we deem to be the thoughts. And his hypothesis is that that is actually incorrect, that thoughts spawn from emotions, and in order to overcome our negative emotions, all we need to do is to sit with them. One, to sit with them and put our attention on them. So where do you feel it in your body? And keep your attention there. Keep your attention on where you feel it in your body. And two, is to allow it to be there. So sometimes that's tricky. Noticing where it is in your body is the easy half. The harder half is to allow it to be there. And a lot of times we'll run into resistance. So the emotion doesn't want to be felt, or we don't want to feel our emotions, So we decide to run to thoughts to try to figure it out. And this is just more resistance. Our brain starts turning on quickly. It starts making us restless. So how do we actually allow an emotion to be there? We allow emotions to be there by relaxing our body. Relaxing our body. Our body is where the emotions present themselves, so our body is also the place where we will stop resisting them. We can't stop resisting them through mental activity. We can only stop resisting them physically. And how does that look? Let's say I have an unpleasant sensation in my heart somewhere. Step one would be notice and keep your attention on the sensation in your heart, whatever it is. Don't label it. Don't go into the story revolving around it through thought. Just simply sit with the sensation that's arising in your heart. Whether it's tingling, pressure, squeezing, sharp pains, like whatever it is, nothing is wrong. And in order to stop resisting it and to allow it to be there, you keep your attention on it while relaxing your body, while dropping your shoulders, while allowing your whole body to just melt. And as you do that, you'll actually start to feel your nervous system like releasing it a little bit. And it's very important to not go into thoughts. It's very important to keep everything physical. So keep your attention on the physical sensation while also maintaining the posture of relaxedness. So, like you're melting like butter. Like someone just put you in the microwave, in a pleasant microwave, and your body is butter, and you just feel it melting. And as you do this, you'll realize you actually can release emotions. And something that may have been troubling for you for years, or even decades, you can let go of in a day. It's actually incredible. And it's important to not have expectations. So some emotions will be gone in 5 minutes. Some emotions like grief might take 20 minutes, but then come back in waves over and over again. And then there's some things that just feel stuck, like maybe it's there for a week. Even when you're doing this practice for 20 minutes a day, it's just there for a week. Or if you do this practice for a day, it's there for a day. None of this is your business, how long it lasts. It doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you're not letting go. It just means that this emotion is a little bit, it has a deeper well of its energy within you. There was an analogy I heard today by, he's similar to David Hawkins. He's a different guy. I'm quoting him, so this is not my quote, but, or analogy. But he's saying our mind is like a lake water. Certain things will disturb it and cause ripples on the surface. And also it will disturb itself. So if we are a bird that is sitting on the lake, if we are the bird and that represents our consciousness, and we're sitting on the lake and we feel ripples, natural ripples, maybe something happens externally out of your control and causes ripples. And we think that if we change the outside world and use action to stop the ripples, that it's going to work. But what that really looks like is the bird flapping around, trying to change the external world to get the water to stop rippling. And of course, we know if the bird is going to be on the water flailing, it's going to cause more ripples. So that's how people spiral. It's because they think that they can change the outside world. They think that they have control over external circumstances. And the reality is that you do not. You do not. You are but a tiny piece of reality. There are infinitely more causes than you in the universe. And I know that can feel almost devastating to hear or hopeless, but I think it's very much liberating because the amount of action you can take is actually quite limited, and it's not complicated either. But that's what most people do, is they flail around trying to figure out their life. They flail around trying to manage, when the thing is they're just addressing the symptoms of their problem. They're not addressing the root of their problem, which is the underlying emotion that they're not willing to address. And this process is honestly miraculous. Like, it's honestly miraculous. Because what you unveil when you remove the negative is positive. That's just been waiting there for you. It's just been waiting. You don't even need to create it. You just need to allow the negative to be there for a bit. But none of us have really been able to deal with our emotions because we've never been taught. We've never been taught how that we can handle it. And when it comes time to feeling it, we don't have any tools. So everything feels too overwhelming to bear, so we escape. And in escaping, you just prolong it. Even therapy works upon thought processes. It works upon changing the way you're thinking in order to change the way you're feeling. That's ultimately what it is. And they've done studies that the prefrontal cortex, your thinking part of your brain, has almost no backwards force on your limbic area, basically. The limbic area is where you feel your emotions and your fears and your animalistic parts of your brain. So it is completely ineffective to try to think better thoughts to get out of the negative situation you're in. I think something almost all of it is from the bottom up, where your limbic system controls your thought system, the prefrontal cortex, which is analogous to saying your emotions produce thoughts. There is some downward, up to bottom, backwards thing, which is why we spiral, because those thoughts do feed back into the emotion a little bit, but not that much. They don't feed back that much. So the key is to cut it at the root. And I cannot honestly tell you how it works physically. I cannot honestly say I understand the mechanism by how can it be that you just allow an emotion to be there and for it to go away because of that. It doesn't make sense, but it doesn't need to make sense. You just need to experience it for yourself. And I'm coming from experience. This works. For me, at least. But I think it's worth a shot for everyone. I don't think I'm special. I don't think that there's anything special about me that would make it work for me and not anyone else. And in fact, if you go online, the letting go technique, so many people find benefit from it. Man, like even today, like just as a note today, I got maybe 3 hours of sleep last night. I woke up this morning with just incredible anxiety. Like, just, it's not, I can't even say crippling, it's just powerful. And I decided I'm gonna sit with this until it goes away, and I'm gonna give myself so much space to feel this. So much space. And I did that for even just like a mere hour or two. And all I did was just pay attention to the sensation in my body. I almost felt like an electricity through my entire trunk, like stomach, chest, all of it. And I just sat with it and I kept my attention on it. And I let my body dissolve like butter as I was doing it. And it's the afternoon now here. I feel more peaceful than maybe I have ever felt in my entire life. Like, I seriously don't think I've ever felt this peaceful. And that's saying something. That's saying something. And it takes a while, you know? It's not going to be overnight. It's not. But the more you work at it, the faster your results. Even if you can only afford 30 minutes a day, 15 in the morning, 15 at night. This honestly could be a life-changing practice. And if we can live from a place of peace and clarity of mind, we're going to live a better life. We're going to make better decisions. We are. When there's less fear, shame, guilt, anger, pride, how can we not make better decisions? How can we not make better decisions? Do you want your decisions to be based off those emotions? Like, do you want your life's decisions and choices to be made upon emotions that are animalistic, that are rooted in fear. Do you want to live that type of life, or do you want to live a free life where you make choices from your heart and from a sense of peace? Like, what life do you want? Because a lot of people, they'll say, oh, well, if I just allow everything to happen, unfold naturally, if I allow life to unfold as it is, I'm going to be a gluttonous mass that's sitting on my couch drooling on myself. I think that's what people's brains like immediately go to. But that's just not true. It's not true. You unlock the energy in your body. That energy is now free to flow because you're not so tight. You're not so wound up just trying to survive. Because that's what it really is. That ambition that is frantic, that ambition that isn't based in peace and a knowledge of your true self, that ambition is based in fear. And it's not you. It's not you. It's funny, that thought, it's actually quite ironic. That thought of a gluttonous mass sitting on a couch, drooling on himself because he's now allowing the universe to be as it is a fear-rooted thought, is a thought rooted in fear. You're afraid to be that gluttonous mass. You're afraid to not be worthy. You're afraid that you're going to allow yourself to relax? Is that what you're afraid of? Increasingly in our world, it is a rarity to find someone who's at peace. It's a rarity. Being at peace makes you stand out in this world. Dude, if you're at peace, genuinely, like if you're genuinely at peace, you're in the freaking, like, you're in such a niche that people notice. And people don't always respond positively because it reflects something negative upon themselves, but people notice. And you're not doing it for people to notice, but they do. And people respond to you differently as well. And even even if this technique didn't release anything, like let's say this technique didn't actually free you from the negative emotions, it would still be worth it because you're enhancing your capacity to deal with these negative emotions when they come in the future. And when they inevitably do come in the future, you have a deep level of confidence now because you can just face them head on. You don't need coping strategies. You don't need self-help. You just have the quiet confidence to deal with your emotions. And to deal with your emotions is to deal with life. We think the external world is like the reason we feel all these emotions. We think, oh, like this person died. And yes, okay, that's a gross example. But even little things, let's say someone cuts you off in traffic. You're not angry because they cut you off. You have anger inside of you, and it's venting itself at any opportunity it can get. That's mostly what's happening. There are certain events that cause undeniable and inevitable emotions, like grief. Like if someone dies, you're gonna feel grief, even if you've released all the grief inside of you. That's just a natural thing. But when that grief inevitably comes, in those really hard moments, you've built yourself, I say built, but it's literally the simplest practice ever. You've given yourself the confidence that you can deal with these negative emotions as they come up. And when you just have that level of confidence that you can handle the punches of life, you just in general feel less fear. Because fear is ultimately fear of future emotions. It's not fear of future events. It's fear of future emotions. And when you have a deep knowing that you can handle anything, the fear doesn't strike you as deep. And you can take actions that are radical, that are more aligned with yourself, and that you care about. I hope this makes sense. I hope the practice makes sense. And if you were to turn this video off right now, you would know what I'm saying. That you would know the exact mechanism and technique that I'm talking about. And I would hope that you have faith that what I'm saying is true. That there are real effects and rapid effects for this. I think I'm going to end the video there. I've rambled a little. I'm very much enjoying this rain right now. It is very pleasant. It's one of my favorite things, being like indoors while it's raining outside. And just hearing it. It's like a safe little bubble. Safe little bubble. So, I hope this message reaches you well. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.